Hello coin collectors and treasure hunters. Welcome back to our channel World Rare Coins, where we discover the fascinating world of rare coins and their incredible value. From hidden gems that could be worth a fortune to little-known coins with a rich history, we'll explore it all. So grab your magnifying glass and let's dive into today's exciting coin discovery. On top one today, we've got something truly special for you. Have you ever looked at your spare change and thought, could any of these coins be worth a fortune? Well, if you've got a United States 1-cent coin from 1975, you might just have a hidden treasure in your hands. Stay with us as we dive into the history, design, rarity, and potential value of this iconic coin, and we'll reveal just how much it could be worth today. The United States 1-cent coin, or penny, is something we all recognize. It's the smallest denomination of U.S. currency, often tossed aside in our pockets or in jars at home. But sometimes, a coin like the 1975 penny can be worth much more than its face value. This seemingly ordinary coin could be worth thousands of dollars, depending on its condition and specific characteristics. Let's take a closer look at why the 1975 penny is so valuable and how to determine if you have a rare one in your collection. First, let's talk about the 1975 penny's history. By 1975, the United States had been producing pennies for over 200 years. However, this particular year marks a key moment in the history of U.S. currency. The U.S. Mint was at the tail end of a transition in the composition of coins. Up until this point, pennies were made primarily of copper. In the mid-1970s, the U.S. government began experimenting with different metals to make coins more affordable to produce, due to the rising cost of copper. So, what does this have to do with the 1975 penny? Well, in 1975, there was a notable shift in the minting process. The coin was still composed mostly of copper, but in 1975, there were some production issues, and not every penny was struck in the exact same way. This is where the rarity comes in terms of design. The 1975 penny is very similar to earlier pennies, with the iconic portrait of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, designed by the famed sculptor Victor David Brenner. On the reverse, we see the familiar image of the Lincoln Memorial, which has graced the back of the U.S. penny since 1959. The coin features the year 1975 prominently beneath Lincoln's bust, and it's these little details that can make all the difference when determining value. Now, let's get to the part you've been waiting for: the value of the 1975 penny. While most 1975 pennies are worth only a cent, there are certain coins from that year that are worth a lot more. The key to the coin's value lies in its condition, mint mark, and even rare variations that can occur during the minting process. The 1975 penny that's worth the most is an error coin, a variety known as the 1975 double die penny. This coin has a distinct error in which the digits 1975 are doubled, making it instantly recognizable to collectors. These error pennies are considered extremely rare and are highly sought after in the numismatic community. If you're lucky enough to have a 1975 penny with this unique doubling error, you're holding a true treasure. In pristine condition, these coins can fetch extraordinary prices at auction. A coin in this state of preservation could sell for thousands, and if it's particularly rare, even more. But it doesn't stop there. Other 1975 pennies, though not error coins, can still hold some value depending on their condition. For example, a well-preserved 1975 penny, free from significant wear and tear, can be worth more than its face value to collectors. Pennies that are in uncirculated or mint state condition are especially valuable because they have been kept in pristine condition, and collectors love to add such examples to their collections. Now, let's talk about the big reveal: the value that will have you checking every 1975 penny you find. If you happen to own one of these rare, error-struck 1975 double die pennies, it could be worth as much as $47,000. Yes, you heard that right, $47,000 for a single penny. That's an incredible amount of money for a coin that is so commonly overlooked. So, if you have a stash of old pennies lying around, make sure to take a good look at them. You just might have a valuable coin tucked away, waiting to make you a fortune. In conclusion, the United States 1-cent coin from 1975 might seem like an ordinary penny, but if you know what to look for, it could be worth an astonishing amount of money. The key factors to remember are the coin's condition, any unique features or minting errors, and of course, the rarity of a perfectly preserved double-die penny. If you find one of these, you might just have an incredible collector's item on your hands. On top two, we're diving into a coin that you might have overlooked in your change jar or in your collection. The United States 1-cent coin from 1978. It's a penny, but could it be worth a whole lot more? Stick around as we uncover the fascinating history, design, and potential value of the 1978 penny and reveal just how much this little coin could fetch on the market today. The United States 1-cent coin or penny is one of the most familiar coins in circulation. We've all had our fair share of them, but few people realize that some pennies, especially from certain years, can be incredibly valuable. While the 1978 penny may seem like just another ordinary coin, if you look closely, it may be hiding a significant amount of value. Let's break it all down and find out why the 1978 penny has caught the eye of collectors. First, let's take a step back and look at the historical context of the 1978 penny. By this time, the U.S. Mint had been producing pennies for well over 200 years, but the composition of the coins had already undergone several changes. For most of the 20th century, pennies were made primarily of copper, but by the late 1970s, there were increasing concerns about the rising cost of copper. As a result, in the coming years, the U.S. Mint would eventually shift to a copper-plated zinc composition for pennies, a change that would take place in the 1980s. But in 1978, the penny was still predominantly copper, making it a key year for collectors. The design of the 1978 penny is familiar to many, as it features the iconic portrait of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, created by the sculptor Victor David Brenner. This portrait has been on the U.S. penny since 1909 and remains one of the most famous images in American coinage. On the reverse of the coin, we see the Lincoln Memorial, another enduring symbol of the nation, designed by Frank Gasparo. This reverse design has been on the penny since 1959, and it continues to evoke a sense of pride in the country's history and heritage. Now, you might be wondering, what makes the 1978 penny stand out? After all, it's not an error coin, and there's nothing particularly unusual about the design. Well, there are actually a few key factors that contribute to the coin's value. The first factor to consider is the condition of the penny. Like most collectible coins, the better the condition, the more valuable the coin is. Coins that are well preserved, with minimal wear, are far more desirable to collectors. A 1978 penny in mint state, with sharp details and no signs of circulation, is much more valuable than one that has been heavily used. But it doesn't stop there. The 1978 penny is also sought after for its rarity, especially when it comes to coins that were minted with specific variations. Over the years, there have been reports of certain 1978 pennies having unique characteristics, such as slight die errors or misprints, which can make them particularly valuable. These error coins are incredibly rare, and collectors are always on the lookout for them because they add a unique element to their collections. If you're lucky enough to have one of these rare variants, it could be worth a small fortune. So, what exactly makes these error coins so special? Well, in the case of the 1978 penny, one of the most well-known errors involves a misalignment during the minting process. This misalignment can cause parts of the coin's design to be off-center, creating a unique and highly prized version of the penny. Error coins like this are typically much more valuable than standard issue coins because they are one of a kind, and they stand out from the rest. Another factor that can influence the value of the 1978 penny is its scarcity. Though millions of 1978 pennies were minted, many of them have been lost to time or have been heavily circulated, which means that fewer of them are available in pristine, uncirculated condition. This scarcity makes high-quality examples more desirable and, in turn, increases their value. If you happen to come across a well-preserved 1978 penny, it could be worth a lot more than just 1 cent. Now, let's talk about the exciting part, the value of the 1978 penny. Most of the 1978 pennies you come across are probably worth their face value of 1 cent, especially if they've been used in daily transactions. However, if you're lucky enough to have a 1978 penny in near-perfect condition, or better yet, one with a rare minting error, the price could soar. So, how much could a rare, high-quality 1978 penny be worth? If you happen to have an uncirculated 1978 penny or an error coin in excellent condition, you might be looking at a potential value of up to $45,000. Yes, that's $45,000 for a single penny. That's a life-changing amount of money for such a small coin. And it just goes to show how valuable rare coins can be, even if they seem ordinary at first glance. In conclusion, the 1978 penny may seem like just another coin in your pocket, but it could be hiding a significant amount of value. Whether it's in pristine condition, has a rare error, or is simply one of the few surviving coins from that year in great shape, this penny has the potential to be worth thousands of dollars to collectors. So, the next time you stumble across a 1978 penny, take a closer look. It might just be worth far more than you think. On top 3, we're talking about the United States 1-cent coin from 1980. A simple penny, right? But did you know that some of these coins can be worth thousands of dollars? In this video, we're going to uncover the history, the design, the rarity, and the potential value of the 1980 penny, and by the end, we'll reveal just how much this little coin could be worth in today's market. You won't want to miss this. Now, when you think of the 1980 penny, you probably think of it as just another coin that's been circulating for decades. After all, millions of these coins were minted, and it's easy to overlook them as just another piece of change. However, if you've got a keen eye and know what to look for, this coin could be far more valuable than its face value. So, what makes the 1980 penny so special? Let's dive in. First, let's take a step back and explore the context in which the 1980 penny was produced. The United States was in the midst of economic shifts during the late 1970s and early 1980s, with inflation on the rise and changes in the composition of U.S. coins. By 1980, the U.S. Mint was still using a primarily copper composition for the penny, although this would eventually change in the following years as the rising cost of copper made it more expensive to produce these coins. This was a period of transition, and knowing the context of the coin's production can give us insight into why some of these pennies are now rare and valuable. In terms of design, the 1980 penny is a familiar sight for most collectors, featuring the well-known portrait of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, designed by sculptor Victor David Brenner. Lincoln has graced the penny since 1909, and his image remains one of the most iconic representations of American history. On the reverse side, we see the Lincoln Memorial, a symbol of the nation's heritage and pride, which has been the reverse design since 1959. While this design hasn't changed much over the years, it's the condition and the rare variations of the 1980 penny that set it apart from other coins. What makes the 1980 penny so valuable? Like with most coins, the condition of the coin is one of the most important factors when determining its worth. Pennies that have been well preserved, with little to no wear, are far more valuable than those that have been heavily circulated. But it's not just about the condition. It's also about the specific features of the coin. Some 1980 pennies have unique characteristics, such as minting errors or rare variations, which can make them worth far more than their face value. These rare features are what really get the attention of collectors. One of the most sought-after variations of the 1980 penny is the double die error. A double die coin occurs when the design is struck twice on the same coin, creating a doubled image. In the case of the 1980 penny, the most notable error is the doubling of the date or the lettering. If you've got a penny from 1980 with this error, you've stumbled upon a rare and valuable find. Double die error coins are highly prized in the numismatic community because they are unique and not something you can find just anywhere. This particular error, if in good condition, can add a significant premium to the coin's value. Another feature to look for in the 1980 penny is its mint mark. While the 1980 penny was primarily minted in Philadelphia, some pennies were minted in Denver and San Francisco. Coins minted in these different locations can have slight variations that may be more valuable, especially if they were produced in smaller quantities. A rare penny with a certain mint mark, combined with its condition, could make it a much more valuable collector's item. Now that we've established what makes the 1980 penny special, let's talk about its value. The truth is, most 1980 pennies you come across are worth only 1 cent, especially if they've been used and circulated for years. However, the ones that stand out are those that are in near-perfect or mint condition, and especially those that feature rare errors like the double die. These rare coins can command a significant price in the marketplace. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for. Just how much could a 1980 penny be worth? If you're lucky enough to own a well-preserved, error-free penny in perfect mint condition, you might be looking at a modest value. But if you have one of those rare 1980 double die error pennies, or one with other unique features, you could be sitting on a small fortune. In fact, if you have an uncirculated 1980 penny with a notable minting error, it could be worth as much as $40,000. Yes, $40,000. That's right. A single penny from 1980 could fetch a remarkable sum, depending on its rarity and condition. This just goes to show that some of the most ordinary coins can actually be worth more than you ever imagined. What should you do if you think you've got a rare 1980 penny? The first thing you should do is carefully inspect the coin for any signs of minting errors, especially if you notice any doubling of the date or text. If the coin is in excellent condition and you believe it might be a rare find, it's a good idea to have it professionally graded. A certified coin grading service can help determine its value and give you a better idea of how much you could sell it for. In conclusion, the 1980 penny may seem like just another ordinary coin, but it has the potential to be worth thousands of dollars. Whether it's in pristine condition, features a rare minting error, or has other unique characteristics, this little coin could become a big-ticket item for collectors. So, the next time you find a penny from 1980 in your pocket or in a jar, make sure to take a closer look. You might be holding onto a valuable piece of history. On top four, we're going to talk about a coin that's been around for decades, but could be worth more than you ever imagined. That's right. We're discussing the United States 1-cent coin from 1983. This penny, though seemingly ordinary, might just be hiding a hidden treasure. So, stick with us as we explore the history, design, and rare features of the 1983 penny and uncover just how much it could be worth today. Now, when you think of a penny from 1983, it might not strike you as particularly valuable. After all, millions of these coins were minted and circulated, and they've been in circulation for over 40 years. But what many collectors don't realize is that there are certain characteristics of the 1983 penny that can make it incredibly valuable. So, let's take a closer look at this little coin and find out what makes it so special. The first thing to understand is the historical context of the 1983 penny. By 1983, the U.S. Mint had already begun making changes to the composition of the penny. Starting in 1982, the U.S. Mint switched from a predominantly copper penny to a copper-plated zinc penny in response to the rising cost of copper. The 1983 penny was the first full year of this new composition, marking the end of the traditional copper penny. Because of this shift, the 1983 penny is a significant piece of U.S. currency history. But beyond its historical significance, the design of the 1983 penny is another key reason why it stands out. On the obverse side of the coin, you'll find the iconic portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. This image of Lincoln has been featured on the penny since 1909 and is one of the most recognized and enduring images in American coinage. On the reverse side, we see the Lincoln Memorial, which was designed by Frank Gasparo and has been on the back of the penny since 1959. These designs, which represent American history and values, give the 1983 penny a sense of national pride and identity. Now, here's where things get interesting. While the 1983 penny might seem like a common coin, the key to its value lies in its rarity and potential for unique features. Like many other coins, the condition of the 1983 penny is crucial when it comes to its value. Most 1983 pennies that have been circulated are worth only their face value of 1 cent. However, if you happen to have one in pristine, uncirculated condition, it could be worth far more to collectors. High-quality, well-preserved coins are always in demand, and the more detailed and sharp the coin's design, the higher its potential value. But it's not just about the condition of the coin. There are also some very rare and valuable variations of the 1983 penny that can make it worth thousands of dollars. One of the most notable errors in the 1983 penny series is the 1983 copper penny. You might be thinking, didn't they switch to copper-plated zinc in 1982? Well, yes, they did. But during the transition, a small number of 1983 pennies were mistakenly struck with a copper composition instead of the copper-plated zinc. These 1983 copper pennies are extremely rare, and collectors are always on the lookout for them. Because only a few of these copper pennies were minted, they're highly sought after and can command a premium price on the market. How do you identify a 1983 copper penny, you might ask? The best way to tell is by using a magnet. If the penny sticks to a magnet, it's likely made of copper-plated zinc, which is the standard composition for most modern pennies. However, If the penny does not stick to the magnet, it's likely made of pure copper, which is the rare, valuable version you'll want to keep an eye out for. In addition to the copper error, there are also other factors that can make the 1983 penny valuable. For example, some coins may have slight minting errors such as misprints, off-center strikes, or other anomalies that can make them stand out from the standard issue. These types of errors are highly desirable to collectors because they add a level of uniqueness to the coin, making it a one-of-a-kind item. So, how much could the 1983 penny be worth? Well, most 1983 pennies in circulation are still worth only 1 cent, especially if they've been heavily used or show signs of wear. However, if you happen to have one of the rare 1983 copper pennies, or a penny in mint condition with other unique features, you could be looking at a coin worth a lot more. A pristine, uncirculated 1983 penny with a rare minting error or a copper composition could fetch an impressive price from collectors. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for. The value of the 1983 penny. If you have one of those rare copper 1983 pennies, or an error coin in excellent condition, it could be worth as much as $38,000. Yes, you heard that correctly. $38,000 for a single penny. This just goes to show how valuable certain coins can be, even when they seem like ordinary pieces of change. So, the next time you find a 1983 penny in your collection or in your pocket, take a closer look. It might be worth far more than just 1 cent. In conclusion, the 1983 penny is more than just a simple coin. Whether it's the historical significance of the composition change, the rare copper versions, or the potential for minting errors, the 1983 penny has become a highly sought-after coin among collectors. If you happen to own one in pristine condition, or even better, one with a rare error or unique feature, you could be holding on to a small fortune. On Top 5, we're diving into a coin that's been around for decades but could be worth much more than you might think. The United States 1 cent coin from 1984. It might seem like a simple penny, but trust me, there's more to this little coin than meets the eye. Stick around as we explore its history, design, and the factors that make it so valuable. And at the end of the video, we'll reveal just how much this seemingly ordinary penny could be worth today. At first glance, the 1984 penny may look like just another coin you've come across in your change over the years. After all, millions of these coins were minted, and they've been circulating for decades. But what you might not realize is that some 1984 pennies could be worth a small fortune to collectors. So, let's take a closer look at what makes this particular penny so special. To understand the significance of the 1984 penny, we need to take a step back in time. By the early 1980s, the U.S. Mint had already transitioned from producing copper pennies to copper-plated zinc pennies due to rising copper costs. So, the 1984 penny, just like the years before it, was made with this copper-plated zinc composition. However, this penny marks an important period in U.S. history, as it's part of the larger shift in coin production that would eventually lead to the disappearance of the traditional copper penny. Because of this, the 1984 penny holds a special place in the story of U.S. currency. Now, let's talk about the design of the 1984 penny. On the obverse side, you'll find the well-known portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, created by sculptor Victor David Brenner. Lincoln has been featured on the penny since 1909, making it one of the most recognizable and enduring images in American coinage. On the reverse, you'll see the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo. This design has been the standard reverse for the penny since 1959 and represents an important symbol of American history and unity. So, why does the 1984 penny stand out in the world of coin collecting? While it's true that most 1984 pennies in circulation are worth only their face value of 1 cent, there are a few key factors that make some of these coins incredibly valuable. The first factor is the condition of the coin. Like any other collectible, the better the condition, the more valuable it becomes. Coins that are well preserved, free from scratches, dents, and other signs of wear, are always in high demand by collectors. A penny in mint or uncirculated condition is far more valuable than one that's been used and worn over the years. But it's not just about condition. There are other, more rare features that can make a 1984 penny much more valuable. One of the most sought-after variations is the 1984 penny with a minting error. You see, the U.S. Mint doesn't always get it right, and mistakes can happen during the minting process. Some of the most valuable coins in the world are those with errors, and the 1984 penny is no exception. The most common error found on the 1984 penny is the double die error, which occurs when the coin is struck more than once, creating a doubled image on the date or lettering. This doubling effect can be subtle or more pronounced, but either way, it makes the coin incredibly valuable. If you come across a 1984 penny with a clear double die error, especially on the date or the word liberty, you've stumbled upon a rare and valuable find. These error coins are highly sought after by collectors because they are unique and harder to come by. A 1984 penny with this kind of error can fetch a significant price in the marketplace, especially if it's in excellent condition. In addition to the double die error, other minting errors could also make the 1984 penny worth more. For example, some pennies may have been struck off-center or with misaligned dies, resulting in coins that are different from the standard issue. These types of minting anomalies are highly prized by collectors because they are unusual and rare. So, what does this mean in terms of value? As mentioned, most 1984 pennies are worth just 1 cent, especially if they've been in circulation for years. But if you're lucky enough to have a 1984 penny that's in pristine condition or one with a rare minting error, you could be holding on to something much more valuable. The value of a 1984 penny with a double die error or another minting flaw could be worth far more than you expect. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for. How much could a 1984 penny be worth? If you happen to own one of those rare error pennies, especially in uncirculated condition, you might be sitting on a hidden treasure. The value of a 1984 penny with a double die error or other minting flaw could be worth as much as $37,000. Yes, you heard that right. $37,000 for a single penny. That's right, a 1984 penny with a rare error, depending on its condition and rarity, could fetch an impressive price at auction. So, the next time you come across a 1984 penny, don't just toss it aside. Take a closer look. You might just have a rare find on your hands. Whether it's in pristine condition, features a unique minting error, or has some other unusual characteristic, the 1984 penny could be worth far more than just 1 cent. In conclusion, the 1984 penny is more than just a piece of currency. It's a valuable collectible that could bring you a small fortune if you happen to find the right one. From its historical context to the rare errors and minting flaws that make it so sought after, this penny holds a special place in the world of coin collecting. So, be sure to inspect your coins carefully. You never know when you might stumble upon a hidden gem. On top 6, we're going to talk about a coin that might be hiding in your pocket or drawer. The United States 1-cent coin from 1987. You may think this is just an ordinary penny, but what if I told you that it could be worth thousands of dollars? Yes, you heard that right. Stick around as we explore the history, design, and the hidden value of the 1987 penny. By the end of this video, you'll discover just how much this little coin could be worth. Now, before we get into the nitty-gritty of the 1987 penny's value, let's take a look at the coin itself. On the surface, the 1987 penny might not seem too special. After all, it was minted over 3 decades ago, and millions of these coins were produced. But the truth is, there's much more to this penny than meets the eye. The 1987 penny could be hiding a fortune if you know what to look for. So, let's dig into the details and uncover why this coin is so valuable to collectors. To begin, let's talk about the historical context of the 1987 penny. By this time, the U.S. Mint had already moved away from using pure copper for pennies and had switched to the copper-plated zinc composition in 1982. The 1987 penny was made from this copper-plated zinc, which was a part of the U.S. Mint's response to the rising cost of copper. But even though it's made from this new composition, the 1987 penny still holds a place in the hearts of collectors due to its historical significance and the changes taking place in U.S. currency at the time. The design of the 1987 penny is also quite iconic. On the obverse side, you'll find the familiar portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, created by sculptor Victor David Brenner. This portrait has graced the penny since 1909, making it one of the longest-running designs in American coinage. On the reverse side, you'll see the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo, which has been the standard reverse design on the penny since 1959. These designs are symbols of American history and have remained virtually unchanged for decades, making them beloved by collectors. Now, let's get to the heart of the matter. Why is the 1987 penny valuable, and what makes it stand out in the world of coin collecting. The key factors to consider are rarity, condition, and potential minting errors. While most 1987 pennies are still in circulation and worth just 1 cent, there are certain versions of the coin that could be worth a lot more. Let's break down what makes these pennies so special. First, condition plays a huge role in the value of any coin, and the 1987 penny is no exception. Like most other collectible coins, the better the condition, the higher its value. If you have a 1987 penny that has been kept in pristine condition, meaning it shows no signs of wear, scratches, or discoloration, then you have a coin that is in high demand. Collectors are always looking for coins that are in uncirculated or mint condition, and these coins can fetch a premium price in the marketplace. The more details are visible on the coin, the more it will be worth to collectors. But it's not just about the condition. There are rare variations of the 1987 penny that can significantly increase its value. One of the most valuable versions of this coin is the 1987 penny with a minting error. Minting errors occur when something goes wrong during the process of striking the coin, and these errors can result in some incredibly unique and valuable coins. The most common error found on 1987 pennies is the double die error, where the image on the coin is struck more than once, resulting in a doubled appearance on the date or lettering. A double die error on a 1987 penny can be a game changer for collectors. If the doubling is clearly visible on the date, the word Liberty, or In God We Trust, then you've found a rare and highly sought-after coin. These errors are extremely rare, and when they do appear, they are often worth much more than a standard 1987 penny. In fact, some of these error coins can sell for thousands of dollars, especially if they are in excellent condition. Another minting error that can make a 1987 penny valuable is an off-center strike. This happens when the coin is not properly aligned during the minting process, causing part of the design to be struck off-center. These off-center coins are unique, and collectors are often willing to pay a premium for them. The more extreme the off-center strike, the more valuable the coin becomes. If you come across a 1987 penny with this type of error, it's definitely worth checking out further. So, how much can a 1987 penny be worth? Well, as we mentioned, most 1987 pennies are worth just their face value of 1 cent. However, if you happen to have one of the rare error coins, especially a double die or off-center strike, or if you own a 1987 penny in mint condition, it could be worth a lot more. Collectors are always on the lookout for these rarities, and they are willing to pay big money for them. And now, here's the moment you've been waiting for: the value of the 1987 penny. If you have one of the rare error versions, especially in pristine condition, it could be worth as much as $35,000. Yes, that's right, $35,000 for a single penny. It's incredible to think that something as small as a penny, which we often overlook or discard, could be worth so much money. In conclusion, the 1987 penny is far from ordinary. Whether it's in perfect condition, features a minting error, or simply holds historical significance, this coin is a valuable piece of American currency. So, if you have a 1987 penny in your collection, take a closer look. You might just have a hidden gem on your hands. On top 7, we have a real gem to talk about: the United States 1-cent coin from 1990. At first glance, it may seem like just another penny. But what if I told you that this seemingly ordinary coin could be worth thousands of dollars? Stick around until the end, because we're about to reveal just how valuable this little 1-cent coin could be. Now, let's take a closer look at the 1990 penny, starting with its background. By 1990, the U.S. Mint had already made significant changes to the penny's composition. Following the rise in copper prices, the U.S. Mint had switched from using a solid copper composition to a copper-plated zinc mixture starting in 1982. The 1990 penny is made from this copper-plated zinc, which gave the coin a slightly lighter feel compared to the older copper pennies. This shift was made to reduce costs, but it also changed the way the coin interacted with the environment and wear over time. Although the 1990 penny was part of this newer era of U.S. coinage, it still holds historical significance. The coin's design features the iconic portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, created by sculptor Victor David Brenner. This design has been on the penny since 1909 and is one of the most enduring and recognizable images in U.S. coinage history. On the reverse side, you'll find the Lincoln Memorial, which has been featured since 1959 and symbolizes the enduring legacy of one of America's most revered presidents. So why does the 1990 penny stand out in the world of coin collecting? Well, while it may seem like just another coin, there are actually some key factors that can make it incredibly valuable to collectors. The first factor is rarity, but not just rarity in terms of how many were made, but rather the rarity in terms of condition. As with any collectible, the better the condition of the coin, the more valuable it becomes. A well-preserved 1990 penny, free from scratches, discoloration, and wear, is much more desirable to collectors than one that has been heavily circulated. But even more important than condition are the minting errors. This is where the 1990 penny really stands out. Minting errors are one of the most exciting and profitable aspects of coin collecting, and the 1990 penny has its own share of fascinating mistakes that make it highly sought after. These errors occur when something goes wrong during the coin's production process, resulting in a coin that doesn't match the standard design point. One of the most famous errors found on the 1990 penny is the double die error. This happens when a coin is struck twice by the same die, causing certain details on the coin, such as the date or the letters, to appear doubled. The most common places where you'll see the doubling are on the word Liberty or In God We Trust. But the most valuable 1990 pennies with this error are those with a double date. A double date is especially desirable because it is easier to spot, making it more likely for collectors to pay a premium for the coin. Another error that can increase the value of a 1990 penny is an off-center strike. This occurs when the coin is not properly aligned during the minting process, causing part of the design to be cut off or shifted. Off-center pennies are unique, and the more extreme the off-center strike, the more valuable the coin can be. These misaligned coins are rare, and collectors love the fact that no two off-center coins are exactly the same. If you find a 1990 penny with an off-center strike, you may have stumbled upon a highly sought-after collectible. The value of the 1990 penny really comes down to one important thing. How rare is it? If you have a 1990 penny that is in mint condition, or better yet, one that features a minting error like a double die or off-center strike, you could be holding on to something very valuable. Collectors are always on the lookout for rare coins like these, and the price for these coins can rise significantly in the marketplace, especially when they are in excellent condition. Now, the moment you've all been waiting for. Just how much could a 1990 penny be worth? Well, if you have one of these rare error pennies, or if your 1990 penny is in pristine, uncirculated condition, the value could be much higher than you expect. A 1990 penny with a double die error or other rare minting mistake could be worth as much as $33,000. Yes, you heard that right, $33,000 for a single penny. It's hard to believe that something as small and seemingly insignificant as a penny could fetch such a high price. But that's the magic of coin collecting. In conclusion, the 1990 penny is far more than just a piece of currency. It's a valuable collectible that has the potential to be worth a small fortune. Whether it's in pristine condition or features a rare minting error, this penny can be an incredibly valuable find for anyone lucky enough to possess one. So, the next time you come across a 1990 penny, take a moment to inspect it closely. You never know. It could be worth a lot more than just 1 cent. On Top 8, we're talking about a coin that you may have overlooked in your change jar. The United States 1-cent coin from 1991. This seemingly ordinary penny could actually be hiding a fortune. Stick with us as we explore why this coin is so special, how it came to be, and just how much it could be worth if you find one in excellent condition or with a rare error. By the end of this video, you'll be amazed at how much a 1991 penny could fetch on the collector's market. Let's start by talking about the basics of the 1991 penny. Like most pennies minted in the late 20th century, the 1991 1-cent coin was made of copper-plated zinc. This was part of a shift that began in 1982 when the U.S. Mint stopped using pure copper due to rising copper prices. The result was a lighter, more affordable penny, though it still retained the same familiar size and weight. The 1991 penny is part of this new era of U.S. coinage and has some historical significance, as it was struck during the early years of George H.W. Bush's presidency. On the front, or obverse, of the 1991 penny, you'll see the iconic image of President Abraham Lincoln, which has been featured on the U.S. 1-cent coin since 1909. The portrait was designed by sculptor Victor David Brenner. and it is one of the most recognizable designs in American numismatics. On the back, or reverse, of the coin, you'll find the familiar Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo, which has graced the reverse side of the penny since 1959. At first glance, the 1991 penny might seem like just another in a long line of similar coins, but what makes it stand out to collectors is the potential for rare variants, minting errors, and its condition. In the world of coin collecting, condition is everything. Pennies from 1991 were produced in huge quantities and circulated widely, so finding one in mint or uncirculated condition is quite rare. Coins that are in pristine condition are highly sought after, and that's where the value of your 1991 penny can skyrocket. If you've got a 1991 penny that looks like it just came out of the mint, with no scratches, discoloration, or signs of wear, you may have a valuable coin on your hands. The more flawless the coin, the higher its value in the eyes of collectors. A well-preserved 1991 penny could be worth much more than its face value of 1 cent. But there's more to the story. Minting errors play a huge role in increasing the value of a coin, and the 1991 penny has some fascinating examples of these errors that can make it extremely valuable. One of the most common and valuable minting errors for the 1991 penny is the double die error. This occurs when the die used to strike the coin malfunctions, causing the design to appear doubled on the coin. The doubled features could be seen in the date, the words "Liberty" or "In God We Trust." A double date, especially when the doubling is clearly visible, is highly prized by collectors because it's easy to spot and adds a unique touch to the coin. A 1991 penny with a double die error is considered a rare find, and it can fetch a premium price on the market. Another important minting error to look out for on the 1991 penny is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin is not properly aligned during the minting process, causing part of the design to be cut off or shifted. Off-center coins are highly desirable to collectors because each one is unique, and the more extreme the off-center strike, the more valuable the coin becomes. If you come across a 1991 penny with this error, it could be worth far more than just 1 cent. There are also other variations that could make your 1991 penny more valuable, such as die cracks, where the die used to strike the coin starts to deteriorate and leaves visible cracks on the coin. These kinds of errors are also appealing to collectors, as they make the coin one of a kind. Now, let's talk about the ultimate question. How much could a 1991 penny be worth? Well, most 1991 pennies are worth just their face value of 1 cent. But if you happen to have one that is in perfect, uncirculated condition, or if it has a rare minting error such as a double die or off-center strike, the value could be significantly higher. For example, a 1991 penny with a double die error could sell for thousands of dollars, especially if it is well preserved and the error is clearly visible. The most remarkable thing is that these rare coins can fetch extraordinary prices, especially when they are sold to collectors who are willing to pay top dollar for these unique finds. So, if you have a 1991 penny that meets these criteria, you may have stumbled upon a hidden treasure. Are you ready for the price reveal? A rare 1991 penny, particularly one with a double die error or another minting mistake, could be worth as much as $32,000. Yes, you heard that right, $32,000 for a single penny. Imagine finding that tucked away in your spare change or a coin jar. It just goes to show that something as small and seemingly insignificant as a penny can be worth far more than its face value. In conclusion, the 1991 penny is not just a piece of currency, it's a potential collector's treasure. Whether it's in pristine condition, features a rare minting error, or simply holds historical value, this coin is much more than meets the eye. So, the next time you come across a 1991 penny, make sure to take a closer look. You might just have a rare find on your hands. On top 9, we have something really exciting for you. The United States 1-cent coin from 1998. At first glance, it may seem like just another penny, but this coin could be worth a lot more than you think. Stick around as we dive into the history, the design, and the hidden value of the 1998 penny, and stick with us until the end to find out just how much it could be worth today. Let's start by talking about the background of the 1998 penny. By the time 1998 rolled around, the U.S. Mint had long since transitioned to using a copper-plated zinc composition for pennies, following the switch in 1982. The 1998 penny is no exception, made from 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper, which gave the coin a slightly lighter feel than its older copper predecessors. Though the composition had changed, the coin's design remained the same as it had been for decades. On the front of the penny, you'll see the iconic image of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by sculptor Victor David Brenner in 1909, and on the back, the image of the Lincoln Memorial, which has been in use since 1959. It's a design that's remained virtually unchanged for over a century. Now, you might be wondering, why is a 1998 penny any different from the thousands of others I've seen? Well, the value of the 1998 penny comes down to a few key factors: its condition, its rarity, and the possibility of minting errors. While pennies from 1998 were produced in huge numbers, what makes this particular coin so interesting is that certain versions of it, especially those in mint or near-mint condition, have become highly sought after by collectors. In fact, there are certain error coins from this year that have been known to sell for astronomical amounts. What makes a 1998 penny so valuable? The most important thing for collectors is the condition of the coin. Most 1998 pennies were heavily circulated and have been through years of wear and tear, which means they're often found in lower grades. But here's the catch: coins that are in pristine, uncirculated condition are incredibly rare and incredibly valuable. If you happen to come across a 1998 penny that looks like it just came off the minting press, with no scratches, no discoloration, and no visible wear, then you've got yourself a rare and potentially valuable collectible. Now, let's talk about minting errors. In the world of coin collecting, minting errors are what really make certain coins stand out from the rest, and the 1998 penny is no exception. These errors occur when something goes wrong during the minting process, resulting in a coin that doesn't match the intended design. Some of the most valuable 1998 pennies are those with noticeable minting errors, like the double die error, which happens when the coin is struck twice by the same die. This causes the design to appear doubled, and you can often spot this error on the date, the words "Liberty" or "In God We Trust." The double die error is particularly desirable to collectors because the doubling is easy to spot, making the coin stand out as a unique piece. If you have a 1998 penny with a noticeable double die error, you may have just found a rare coin that could be worth a lot more than its face value. Another type of minting error to look out for is the off-center strike, which occurs when the coin is not properly aligned during the minting process. Off-center strikes are considered unique because no two off-center coins are exactly the same. The more extreme the off-center strike, the more valuable the coin. While a 1998 penny in perfect condition or with a rare minting error is already valuable, there's another factor that could significantly increase its worth: demand. Coin collectors are always on the lookout for rare and unique pieces to add to their collections, and the 1998 penny is one of those coins that could make a serious impact in the right collector's collection. The value of coins can fluctuate depending on market demand, but when a rare version of a coin is in high demand, its value can skyrocket. Now that you know what makes a 1998 penny so special, let's talk about the big question. How much could a 1998 penny be worth? Well, most 1998 pennies are worth only their face value of 1 cent. But if you have one in perfect condition, or if it features a rare minting error like a double die or an off-center strike, then it could be worth much, much more. In fact, a rare 1998 penny, particularly one with a double die error or another minting mistake, could be worth as much as $30,000. Yes, you heard that right, $30,000 for a single penny. It's incredible to think that something so small and seemingly insignificant could hold such immense value. But that's the world of coin collecting, where small details can make a huge difference in a coin's worth. To wrap things up, the 1998 penny is far more than just a 1-cent piece of currency. It's a potential treasure that could be worth thousands of dollars, especially if it's in excellent condition or has a rare minting error. So, the next time you go through your spare change, take a closer look at your 1998 pennies. You just might be holding on to a valuable piece of American history. On top 10 and last, we're diving into a hidden treasure you may have overlooked: the United States 1-cent coin from 1999. While many of us toss these pennies into change jars without a second thought, there's a very real chance that a 1999 penny could be worth far more than just 1 cent. Stick around to the end of the video where we'll reveal just how much this small coin could be worth. Trust us, you're going to want to hear this. Let's start by taking a step back in time to 1999. The 1999 1-cent coin is a part of the ongoing tradition of the Lincoln Memorial design, which has been a staple on the reverse side of the penny since 1959. On the front, we still see the iconic portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, a design that has been around since 1909. This coin was produced during the last years of Bill Clinton's presidency, and the U.S. Mint was continuing to use the familiar copper-plated zinc composition that had been in use since 1982.so. Why are we talking about a 1999 penny? After all, it's just another penny, right? Well, there's a lot more to this coin than meets the eye. One of the things that makes the 1999 penny special is that, like many coins from the late 90s, it has become harder and harder to find in mint condition. The 1999 penny was produced in large numbers, but as time passes, fewer and fewer remain in excellent, uncirculated condition. This is exactly what makes the coin so valuable to collectors. If you happen to have one of these pennies that looks like it just came off the minting press, with no scratches, discoloration, or signs of wear, you may have just found a rare and valuable piece of history. Now, let's talk about the importance of condition. Coin collectors are always on the lookout for pennies in the best possible condition because the value of a coin is heavily influenced by how well it has been preserved. A penny that has been carefully stored and kept in pristine, uncirculated condition is worth much more than one that's been passed around for years in someone's pocket. If you have a 1999 penny that has remained untouched, in mint condition, it could fetch you a significant amount of money. But there's more to the 1999 penny than just its condition. The key to its value also lies in minting errors. Minting errors happen when the machines at the U.S. Mint malfunction during the production process, creating coins that are different from the intended design. These errors are extremely rare, which is exactly why they can make a coin worth so much more. For the 1999 penny, the most sought-after minting error is the double die error. The double die error occurs when the die used to strike the coin shifts slightly, resulting in the design being imprinted twice. This creates a noticeable doubling effect on the coin's design, and the most commonly affected areas are the date and the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust." If you come across a 1999 penny with a double die error, you've found something truly special. The more noticeable the error, the more valuable the coin is to collectors. This is one of the most common and valuable errors in modern U.S. coinage, and it can turn an ordinary penny into a collector's dream. Another minting error to watch for is the off-center strike. An off-center strike happens when the coin is not properly aligned during the minting process, causing the design to be cut off or misaligned. Off-center coins are unique, and the more extreme the off-center strike, the more valuable the coin. This kind of error makes each coin one of a kind, and for collectors, that's a huge draw. You should also keep an eye out for other minting irregularities such as die cracks or die clashes. These errors occur when the die used to strike the coin starts to crack or wear down. This creates visible imperfections on the coin, making it unique and appealing to those who collect rare coins. While these kinds of errors are less common than double die or off-center strikes, they still add value to the 1999 penny, especially if the cracks or clashes are clearly visible. But it's not just the error coins that are valuable. Even a pristine, uncirculated 1999 penny without any minting flaws can be highly sought after. As time goes on, more and more of these pennies get worn down through daily use, so finding one in perfect condition is becoming increasingly rare. Collectors love coins that are in top condition because they make for excellent additions to any collection, and they also hold their value over time. So, if you have a 1999 penny that's in mint condition, don't overlook it. It could be worth a lot more than you realized. So, now for the big question. Just how much could a 1999 penny be worth? While most 1999 pennies are only worth their face value of 1 cent, some rare versions, particularly those with minting errors, can sell for a small fortune. In fact, if you happen to find a 1999 penny with a double die error or an off-center strike in pristine condition, you could be looking at a coin worth $30,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, $30,000 for a single penny. It's amazing to think that something as small and simple as a penny could hold such value. But that's the world of coin collecting. With the right combination of condition, rarity, and minting errors, your 1999 penny could be worth far more than its face value. In conclusion, the 1999 penny is a coin that might seem like just another piece of pocket change, but in the world of coin collecting, it can be a hidden gem. Whether it's in flawless condition or features a rare minting error, this little coin could fetch you a significant amount of money. So, next time you come across a 1999 penny, take a moment to examine it closely. You might just have a rare treasure on your hands. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare coins, be sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on any of our future coin discoveries. Thanks for watching, and happy collecting!